Most of the infections have occurred in Saudi Arabia and in a number of nearby countries, but the virus has since moved further afield into Europe.
There's a device.
What device?
He says that it can cause an earthquake.
The World Health Organization says it's likely a deadly new strain of coronavirus can be passed between people who come into close contact. This virus is very similar to SARS. Like SARS, it can cause acute breathing problems. 2 more people in Saudi Arabia have died after contracting the coronavirus.
When Jesus comes back, he'll call people out of the grave and they will live again. I'm Jeremy Pierce and I'm a Christadelphian. I believe that when I die, I'll cease to exist. When Jesus comes back, in a future time, he'll raise me from the dead. I did have the experience of nearly dying. I had pneumonia, I had septicemia. What actually happened was I was in the doctor's surgery and I collapsed, I passed out. But you know, at that moment, as the sort of blackness came, I felt this huge relief that I could leave it behind now and that it was time to go and to be with Jesus. And that huge feeling of peace and the end of struggle stayed with me. When I die, I think I will cease to exist. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, just like the Bible says. Sort of no more me, if you like. Our hope is that one day in the future, when Jesus comes back to the world, he'll call me out of the grave and I'll live again. That's called resurrection. Maybe recreation would be a better word for it. When Jesus comes, he's going to create a new world. This is what we know. So in this new world, we'll find that there's going to be a need for healing of people, just like Jesus did, for poverty to end, for social justice and to build communities. And I think Jesus is going to build with us that better world that God always wanted it to be. And that's the bit I'm looking forward to personally.
I like that its message is in sap and not in blood, like some miracles I could mention. Passover.
Well, this is how God would send me a message. In my backyard, hammock adjacent, one short word in large print. What do you think he's trying to tell me, Flanders?
Well, sir, if you ask me, somebody up there is trying to tell you that whatever flat tires you've got in your life, God's there with his little spare that enables you to drive real slow till you get to the next station. But don't eat the miracle.
Fine. I'll just go eat the body of God. That's not crazy. Oh Lord, when things looked darkest you gave me light. Then you switched it off, knowing full well I had declined thine infernal maple care. Please grant me the wisdom to understand your capricious, nasty mind. And please, please make the next swing of the yo-yo and up. Amen.
Amen.
Damn this city! Damn it all to hell! What's going on?
Hollywood magic, Donna. We built a set out of Gina's surprisingly big apartment.
But all of our friends from Stool Band.
Actors. We even got Tom Hanks to play Lester.
I like World War II.
Yeah, we noticed. And thanks to the San Diego Zoo for providing Tim and Ariana.
Well, 75,000 people per night, and the fact that I wanted the fans to be an intrinsic part of it,
As America faces up to the first terrorist atrocity on its soil since September the 11th, 2001.
Very nice, Violet. Well, yes, there is an antidote. And yes, when I get the boy, isolate the antigen and release it into the atmosphere. Anyone who wants to live will queue up daily at this door to get it.
I thought we were the ones you hated. I thought we were the ones you were trying to wipe out.
That's the problem. You were. Past tense. But now that you and
Those like you are all but extinct. What's someone like me, someone with a job to do, going to use to keep order in a society that left to itself would sprint toward chaos like an Olympic event?
Ready for the apocalypse?
All these people who lived in terror of you and your judgment. All these people whose ancestors devoted themselves, sacrificed themselves to you. Can you hear them singing? Oh, you like to think you're a god? You're not a god. You're just a parasite eaten out with jealousy and envy and longing for the lives of others. You feed on them. On the drenched wake, they offer him a pure soul, the soul of the Queen of Years.
Stop it, you're scaring her.
Good. She should be scared. She's sacrificing herself. She should know what that means. Do you know what it means, Mary?
But God chose me.
It's not a god. It'll feed on your soul, but that doesn't make it a god. It is a vampire.
In the hospital, as I looked into that abyss, I suddenly knew. I knew there was no afterlife. God spoke to me like he never had before. Not in words, but in a true and sudden revelation. This life is all we get. It was so clear. And that wasn't enough for you? Of course not. I was 34. I wanted to live. A doctor, a very smart and sympathetic woman, pitied me and offered me another option. Don't you see? God saved me. I asked him. I begged him to save me. And he did it.
So you think that God wanted you to become a vampire?
Well, if God made everything, then he made vampires too. Jesus himself rose from the dead.
Oh, are you saying that Jesus was a...
Gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It turns out all the great monarchs have always had holy men by their sides to consecrate wars.
Boost their egos.
Win over the masses. From Charles I to, well, George W. Everyone's used religion.
Used it for what?
I have been very patient, understanding, and even helpful during your little experiment, but it is time to wake up, Aiden. We live forever. Humans don't. Do the math. It's evolution. It's nature taking its course.
Yeah.
No cameras were allowed inside today, but this is what the tourists saw. Lenin's body chemically preserved since the day he died in 1924.
It was a bit scary when I saw Lenin, but then I calmed down. He is dead after all. He is not going to attack us like a ghost.
No, I already made amends with my God and he's forgiven me.
Hindu, which god are you talking about?
I don't know, there's like 5,000 of them. I'm sure one of them's cool with it.
You are Electa, the chosen one.
Chosen for what? Who am I?
The destroyer, the creator, the revealer, the devouring mother, possessor of both womb and grave. It was the last leg of your journey.
Very good morning indeed to the gentlemen. That's great.
Now, on this show, we have a wildlife man, a history man, don't we? And a science man.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've needed a hell man. So, editor of Christian magazine Reform, Stephen Tompkins, I've got the job.
Steve, welcome to the team.
Congratulations, welcome to
Stephen,
the
welcome
team.
to the One Show family.
So when people hear the word hell, I mean, we often think of, fire, men with little horns, devils, and pitchforks, but the Bible doesn't actually help us form any of that, does it? Because there aren't many mentions of hell in the Bible at all.
Well, the Bible doesn't really seem to be very interested in hell. There are maybe 15 mentions of hell compared to 600 or 700 verses about heaven, so it really doesn't give us a lot to go on. It doesn't tell us much about what it means by the word.